Hello, this is Paul here, and as you can see, I've worked on the front wheel on this a bit, doing the brake assembly thingies, and I guess that's the speedometer cable and making the hub plate goes over for that. But that's not the point. The point is time to work on the rest of the bike, and I'm going to check on these a bit. I turn off. Okay, so smoothing is turned off on those, and I'll probably just hide them anyways. Less stuff to deal with on the laptop. Front brake axle, pop up. Brake cover stuff there. So I hidden some of that stuff. Let's see. So now a reference picture. And I guess I'm going to do this upper frame part thingy, whatever it's called. It's not quite the frame, but it's like, I guess it has the frame built inside it, but it's like a hollow piece that goes over the frame. So it's the upper frame that attaches to the engine and the rear suspension and the fork. It's like the top tube, and see, on a pedal bike you'd have a diamond most of the time, but I guess on this motorcycle it's different. So you have like the top tube, and you have, normally there'd be a seat tube here, but it's like other stuff that attaches to the engine, and gas tank and battery are in there somewhere, and I don't know, maybe an oil tank. Well, I am going to try modeling this thing here, so just this section up here. I think this picture is close enough. I know it's off a bit on the front wheel because obviously a photo is not in orthographic drawing, but 3D software is expecting that. But I will get it kind of close for this purpose. It's using a reference image off the internet because there are no drawings I could find of this, or at least a side on like this. Let's see, I am in orthographic view already, so I am going to 3D cursor here, and I don't know why this keeps moving down. I had it up here earlier. When I save a file, I expect these things to stay, but I guess they don't. So I'm going to move the X position and 3D cursor to 0. Not really using that. So right there, I am going to drop in a simple cube. We can work here, scale it close. And rotation and scale. And time to go in edit mode. Face. Stretch it out a bit. This part of the bike is like two halves that are kind of sandwiched together. This is like the hollow thing that goes over the internal frame thing, and not sure exactly what goes on in there. I know there's something going on, but what? Right now I just kind of want to establish a shape. I know it's not exactly the three-dimensional thing. Oops. I hit the wrong 3 because I gotta use numpad 3. Brain fart. It happens. I know in the newer version of Blender they changed a lot of stuff, but I can't use it. This computer will not run it. I don't know why. I guess it's probably has something to do with the what is it, Xorg on Linux, because I'm on Linux, and tried updating Xorg, and all that does is cause more problems. So I gave up on kind of doing that. So I think it's something to do with that. But I want a computer that I can use without going to screen that loses the GUI. So I gave up on updating it. Just too many problems trying to update. So I just rolled it back and got a working computer again. And something to do with that, the Intel graphics chip in this Dell, it's a Dell Inspiron 15R. Some of the specs say it should be able to run OpenGL for a new Blender, but in practice it doesn't work. So I just kind of meh. And having a computer that works is better than trying to fiddle around. I don't have a spare like a lot of people do, so I just kind of stuck with my long-term LTS distro, I guess, long-term stability or whatever. And so I just have to work with the older version of Blender. And but there's a lot of other people, for whatever reasons, are in the same situation. New Blender looks cool, but it don't run. So we'll stick with what works, right? Alright. So that's not okay. It's kind of annoying that in all the upgrades they don't consider stuff like that. Just want to see on the y-axis. I think I'll just stick with this upper frame section, not the part that attaches to it. And it's to get kind of close. I am not expecting perfection here at the moment. It's like the front end, you can always go over and tweak it over, but I think that would be boring to watch for like over an hour. Should take a long time, but yeah, just showing you that something's getting done on this. It's not the hardest thing in the world. You just gotta work with what you got, I guess. And geometry. Oop. Dang it! What did I do? Not what I want to do. Oh, somehow I ended up moving that, and now it's trying to change my view. Oh, there's always the undo button. Probably move this whole top surface down. Thinking I want to do is have loops that follow these curves around. A bit more geometry there. Should probably just cut this in half and mirror modifier, you know? Should I do that? Can do that. Like so. So I do know that this thing that goes over the internal frame is like clamshelled together. There's like a seam here. There's trim covering. And it clamshells over the internal frame and other stuff contained in there. And just some wiring inside for the ignition and lights and what else. Maybe I'll come back again when I start modeling the engine. Let's try to get further along with this. And it's actually like kind of stamped with the embossed or hexagon shape slightly. So, tell you what, I'll do the mirroring of it, and so this is a mirror. I'm going to chop this in half on the center line. edge tools, edge split, and delete all that. Oop. X faces there instead of verts. Apparently had the internal vertices selected. Object center was where the 3D cursor was when I added the object, so I should just be able to mirror on the object without having to use establish the center point. I do have a center point object in the file. It's just an empty at the 0 location, but in this case is mirroring on the object center, because I could use the mirror object and use center point. But anyhow, which is that empties the center point. Could probably just hide that on another layer. We don't need to see it. I just need to link it in there. Anyway. What else is there? So I want an edge loop up here. So I'll just extrude all this. Is there any internal geometry? Oh. Turn the mirror off. Yeah, there is. I don't need all this. So this whole edge strip here. Because of the mirror, you just want it to. Internal faces cause issues on mirroring, so this is something to check for. Turn them back on. And vertex normals, because I want to loop there too. And do I have internal faces? Yeah. And when I do that quick selection, I'm just using the shortest path selection. Hold down Control. There. If you're watching this, you should know Blender enough to know that. I mean, if you're new and you're trying to do this like a tutorial, it's not meant to be a tutorial. So, yeah. There are plenty of other videos for newbies. So this isn't the point of that. You can kind of follow along and see techniques, but just what's involved in the process. But this isn't meant as a tutorial. It's more like a demonstration of just doing modeling, man. That's a lot of grind work. And I hold Shift X just to keep that constrained. When you're in orthographic view, it's still constrained to the plane anyways. But spacing stuff out. Probably more like a hexagon, but I need to get that seam first before I can do that, so there maybe, and this comes out a bit like, if I go there, we have this crease here, so this actually widens out. Okay. Yeah, there's like this crease thing going on here. And here. Oh, it goes up. Edge flow stuff. Weird. Okay. And it comes out at the bottom here. So I'm gonna just hit the wave tool. Kind of follow what's going on with that shape. So. Scrolling with Shift or Control to do that. opposite edge there. Here. Just knife tool through here. Trying to get this geometry there. Could make it. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. So I want quads. I do want quads. Alright. No, it didn't go through because it. Something to watch out for when using a knife tool. It doesn't always cut through if you don't turn the option on. Especially when you're viewing it in orthographic. Alright. So I have that loop there to hold it, and a loop there, and a loop on the very top. And this part actually sticks out. So all this. Yes. I'm just going to pick those because the vertices. Sticks out like that. Not pretty, but I guess you can kind of get the idea there. Of course, in this case, this goes like that. Trying to maintain quads to some extent. Try there and try there. Okay. Just like that. Just select this top row edges. A shape like that. So now it's something like that. It's like a hexagon kind of shape. There's another thing where the knife didn't go all the way through. Expected, but it can catch you off guard if you were not paying attention. Because when you use the knife tool, this little bar down here, you see there's options for Z cut through, and if you forget that and you're in orthographic, it can be a bit of a pain. Not that it's a buggering thing, it's actually intended behavior, but you just gotta pay attention, man. Like that. And help maintain this upper tube crease here. Their control edge. Tension loop, or whatever you want to call it. I just call them control edges. I know there's different names for control loops or whatever. It's not always a full loop, but actually I am going to want just have to do it with the knife tool. Just for the way it flows. Because I want to preserve that crease when I add subdivision somehow. Preserve the crease, you gotta have your edges close to each other. You subdivide, you will see that there, and same on this bottom flow around here. Something like that. Pink color so it matches the rest of the painted parts of the tube. All that. Since I'm in there, I don't have to do it right now, but it's more obvious what's going on. Follow this flow here, like so. Yeah, I can't rotate the view when I'm using the knife tool. Bit of an annoying thing with this, but it's just how it is. Control loop here. Snapping is a little bit annoying. Just means I have to zoom in a bit more to deal with it. Boop, 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 boop. And these actually come to kind of corner on this, so I'm going to need another set of edges around these corners to bring these in. So this is actually going to need to be beveled somewhere. So, and that maybe. Same over here. Pull that. I'll deal with the other geometry later, I guess. Should I do add a subdiv modifier so we can kind of see what's going on here? Mirror modifier visible. Presume it's almost a mirror on both sides. There's probably stuff with this that's different. It's a bit stronger. I can fix it later. Obviously, it does come out on the front like that, but on the back, I'll adjust it. It's not the prettiest thing to look at, but you get an idea. Yeah. Subdivision surface, leave exit mode, and smooth shading. And you can kind of see these details do pop out. I'm going to have to do another bevel here. At least this far down. Let's preserve that crease as well. And I think I'll deal with these loops somewhere else. Kind of get an idea what's going on. That quads. So It does have that little pointy thing there. I need to tighten up the loop here still. Or follow through. Yeah, it needs to be followed through. That's the knife cut. I didn't come all the way around. So, knife from here. Center you there. Good. I move my view, but I can't. It just bug me sometimes. Oh. So obviously doesn't stick out like this on the tail end. So. And there's some manifold there, but it's not to this extreme. Push that in like so. Boom. What else is there? Fix that later. I think I need another edge loop to tighten up this crease in this raised section on the side of the tank or frame or whatever you want to call it. But it's getting closer. So I'm going to need a loop on the inside of this area. Probably get away with doing an inset on this. Yeah, I think I can do it that way. So inset. So, there's weird geometry there I will get rid of. And over here, I just have to dink around with a knife tool or something. Let's see. Close enough. As you can see, I got the crease sharper. Doesn't need to be this sharp, but at least you're seeing it there now. Got a spot I gotta fix over here. Why is it being weird here? This is dented in. Probably from when I pulled that in earlier. This tail that was sticking out too far. Display. Where is it? Textured solid. Matte cap. There we go. So let's see. Matte cap. See what the surfaces are doing. That's pretty much the point of the matte cap. So we know we have this thing going on. But as you can see, when I did the 2 rows to form that one loop here, if I turn on wires, if I go here and optimal display just to reduce edges, I guess I can go draw all edges. But this loop here controls the smoothing here. The same there. That's why I added those extra loops. So wherever there's a surface transition, like this fold here, so you have 2 loops going around. That's something that retopology makes easier too, because you can control these things. Because I could make another mesh over this one with the better setup of edges, but this is good enough for most purposes. I will be tweaking this and cleaning up these areas like that, which are kind of messy. And before I finish up on this video, I think I'll do the headset tube here that goes to this. So yeah, see this headset section? I could do that. Let's do that. Make it part of this whole thing here. Next time I come around, I'll probably do maybe the seat, or I could do the handlebar stuff. So the handlebar should be relatively easy, because once doing the little headset, it's the handlebar fork section, it's just the path, just like the cables are. So I use the Bezier, not the NURBS, I like Bezier better. Path in. This little headset section, I will just add a cylinder here, so let's get it kind of close. Make sure I 0 on the x-axis. Let's add a cylinder. I don't need that many vertices. 16 or 24. I think 16 will be good for this. Rotation on the X. Can I get it close? Something like that. So I am kind of eyeballing it. As you can see, it's getting close there. I am not expecting perfection given what I have to work with. Close enough is always good. And turn off the fork tubes. Fork plate, here we go. Okay. Get something in my eyeball. Ew. You need to know that. Slowly surely, like so, and try to match the edge counts here. Yeah, here. Kind of there. Clips with the pie. Oh, my fender's in the way. Hide my fender. I have it labeled. Fender. It's probably labeled plain, yeah. It's plain as the fender. I gotta name my stuff. Alright, do that. Right now, I need to do is cut this in half. So I know I have the mirror modifier on the rest of that mesh. This is part of that whole object group, so yeah, it's going to be mirrored too. Edge split. So when I delete this, since the mirror modifier is on, it should still show another half. Oop, thought I split it. Oh, there's no pie on the bottom, but the center. You know what? There. Local view. Alright. Well. You know, I have geometry there. Edge split, edge split. Where is it? Out of the. No. Wrong menu. I hit W instead of E. W menu is useful, but I'm looking for E menu. Yeah, see? The other half is still there for mirroring, and just make sure there's no internal function. There shouldn't be. Turn off the mirror. Yeah. Alright. So now I want to bridge this. This to this somehow. Question is whether we can bridge it neatly. Ooh, no, I'm not liking it. I don't have to. It's because it's just right here. Yeah, I could probably bridge here to here though. There to there. And one of those should match. Alright. And then 3, 2, and it should be a surface. It's still looking kind of smoothness. Profile factor is actually kind of be negative a bit. So you have to adjust these little tool settings here. Tighten that up. Oh. That's a little bit more like I'd like it. I'm going to vertex slide, but I gotta keep them even. Still don't want to slide it too much. Same thing over again. Good. See, this gets close. I think I'll deal with that. Type of vertex slide. Yeah. See, it brings it into this head tube shape here, the headset tube. Have the F2 add-on. That's why I'm able to fill these faces like that. It's a good add-on, man. It's good. That. And how do I want to fill this hole? That, I guess. It's probably a prettier way to do that. But I'd have to add more here. I don't know, I think I'm just gonna stick with that for now. Or I could add another loop in here in this curved area here. Slide this up a bit. Could do that. Still a non-planar surface. Still not. I'm not liking that much, but it's funky. I know it's funky. I will probably fix later. Yeah, well, yeah, but now you see it blends into that tube shape. Yeah, see it? That's not too terrible. I mean, this probably needs to be tightened up, so instead of bulging out, it actually goes more flat. I think I will fix it, but you get the idea. It is there. Let's turn on front tubes or fork tubes. Oh, I'm still in local view. Here. Yeah, local view, but that lines up pretty close. Some stuff going on there. Bring that up and out, and I don't know what's going on here with this plate. Fortunately, I can't tell offhand what's going on up there. I have to look at more reference pictures. And I should probably add that seam, and I'll call it done for this section. I know there's going to be a lot more fiddly bits. Like I said, dude, when I did this whole front wheel thing, it'd be boring to watch. It's just like this kind of problem. So it's right here, like there's the seam. Is right up the middle. Somewhere near. It's just like the little narrow clamshell seam thing going on here. Seam on the bottom. Select the darn thing. Right in there. So. Sure, it will clean that up to fix it a bit more and bring it to where it needs to go. Get the idea so far. I'll just turn stuff on for the view of it. Wheels. Now it's starting to look more like a bike instead of just wheels floating in here. I mean, there's some kind of frame now. And of course I will have to clean this up and fix it more. But you get the idea. The engine and stuff will go down here. These lower protection tubes, the skid tubes or whatever. Lower cover for the chain and the trailing arm and the rear suspension, and of course the seat. The seat will be easy though. It's kind of like how we modeled this frame. Just block it out. I guess there's a rear fender. Yeah, there is. Fender. Let's see. Lights. This cover thing. Usually will just be a path. Be nice to use a bezier for that. I think the next time I bring a video up, I'll do the handlebars, and I'll probably do the seat because the seat looks easy enough. And yeah, so this wraps up for part 4 of my Honda CT-70 in Blender. Nice little picture snagged off the net. Can't remember where to give credits, but I know But I'm not using the picture as a picture representative of the model. I'm just using it as a reference. I think that's okay-ish. I don't know. And blueprints are hard to come by for the actual drawings. So let's do what I do and tighten that up. And I'll probably check other pictures to see just how thick this thing is too. I don't think it's that wide. Maybe it's wider in places, but it's just kind of eyeballing it. So yeah, it's gonna need some more work. Alright. So for now, catch you later.